Hey guys, so if you might have noticed, there hasn't been a lot of writing or reading going on the blog lately, or me writing about what I'm reading. That's how that goes. And it's just because I haven't been reading a lot, and keeping up with book club has been hard enough, and trying to live life, it's all very difficult. But I was having a conversation the other day about why reading right now wasn't something that I was really finding all that enjoyable. And all of a sudden, one of those post-grad revelations just kind of hit me in the face, like a eureka moment. And so I figured I'd share that with you guys, since it's kind of something that's impacting this channel, my blog, my life, and something that you, as a watcher, maybe having gone through or going through this issue, might find interesting as well. And it's the fact that after I've been in college for 4 years, I've really gotten used to disassociating the pleasure part of reading with the act of reading itself. And you might know what I mean. It's like, when you get a text that you have to read for class, and how you feel about it, if you like it, if you don't like it, really doesn't impact it, because you still have to analyze it, you still have to read it, you still have to discuss it in an appropriately nice, intelligent manner. And so, your objective opinion about the book really doesn't matter, because I think we can all agree that we've all had to read classic literary texts in class that we dislike a lot, or really don't even think are good literature. And so that's what I've learned for 4 years, is that I have to read this thing, and what I think doesn't matter, but I still have to slog through it. And generally that makes the reading experience not fun. I think that there's a difference between the reading experience and your experience of a book. So you can be reading something that you really, really like, but be having a terrible reading experience. I don't know, keep getting interrupted or something like that. So whether or not you like the book doesn't impact your reading experience, although they do feed into each other, if that makes sense. And so I was talking the other day, and it just kind of hit me after having finished Rebel of the Sands in one sitting, that I don't have to do that anymore. If I pick up a book and I don't want to read it because I don't like it, I can put it down. And this may seem silly, because I'm sitting here running a book review channel, and that's what I've done, and book reviewing is all about my opinion, but there's always just been this onus on reading. You have to read, you have to make it through, you have to read things you don't like to read, and the fact that you don't like them doesn't matter. And there is kind of that with book club sometimes, and maybe that is why I still have been stuck in that mode a little bit, because I have had to read things for a specific purpose that I may not have enjoyed, but then I can go into book club and yell about the fact that I didn't enjoy it. So I don't know. I think this is also added on to the fact that now that I'm not going back to school right away, I don't have to stay in that mindset, because I think over the summers in between school, it was such a relief to be able to read books for myself, but I always knew that in a couple of months I'd be buying books, and that would be back to my mindset. You have to read these books, you have to think about them, you have to be intelligent about them. And I mean, sometimes even there's a part in the English classroom where you're reading a really classic text and you don't like it, but it's one of those texts that you have to read to be considered smart. And if you don't like it, people are like, oh, well, you don't like real literature. And so I definitely have felt that pressure as well, to read a book, to like it, or at least pretend that I do, or wonder if I don't like it, if there's something wrong with me. Is it true? Do I not like good literature? Which is objective, and I've talked about that a bunch before, but I think all of these things over 4 years have really just back-ended into my reading, and just made reading something that isn't fun anymore. And that I want to be fun again, and I think that I'm definitely getting there, realizing that I can read what I want, I can read when I want, I don't have to read on a schedule except for book club, and every third pick is mine, so it's a book that I am excited to read. And I mean, Michaela and Taylor don't pick terrible books most of the time. Taylor more so, but it's different. I'm not expected to go into a formal setting and use 7-syllable words to describe a book and, make intellectual conversation about something that I don't like and didn't enjoy. And I don't have to disassociate my reading pleasure with my reading experience. So I don't know. I think the real revelation was that I don't have to get back in that mindset. I think that I've been waiting for that moment to come back around, and it's not going to, because I graduated, and while I do want to go to grad school, I'm not going to grad school for a while. So I'm free. I'm literally free to just read the books on this bookshelf and like them, don't like them. If I don't want to keep reading them, I don't have to. I can put them down. I can just do what I want, and I think that I have to remember that more than I would like to make sure that I actually pick up a book and read it, because that specter of that feeling is still there for me. But hopefully, as I settle into the fact that I am not going back to school and that I can read what I want and no one's going to judge me, that I'll read more and I'll enjoy that process more, and I'll really get back into the old joy that I had about reading books. So, yeah. I don't know. I guess this isn't new, because I've talked about this before, I think mostly in text posts on my blog before we got this channel, because it's something that I've recognized about my reading before, but I've never had that freeing moment of saying, I don't have to do that again now. I'm not reading a book during the semester in between classes when I'm also reading those other books that are such a slog. I'm not waiting for my new reading list to come in and to see books on it that I know I don't want to read. I can just pick what I want and do what I want, and that's very weird after 4 years of being an English and writing double major, where my entire major, both of them, was just reading and writing, and that's also impacted my writing as well, my writing for fun, but this is about my reading. So, yeah, I'm just really happy about this fact, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I would love to hear from you guys too, if this is something that has impacted you. And I don't know if this is like a mark against school in general, or a discussion that we should have about the literary canon, or if it's just something that has to happen because you're in school and that's just what happens. So I would love to hear your thoughts and your experiences, and if you have graduated earlier than me and have been living in this freedom for longer, let me know if you've experienced this, but also how long it took you to get back into reading for fun, because that's something that I would love to hear about. So that is my video for this week, and I will see you tonight with our episode on Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides, if it happens on time. I'm pre-recording this so that I have it. We will see. If not, Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides is the next book that Bibliomancy for Beginners is doing, and you can look forward to that soonish. Thanks, guys. Bye.